Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today we're going to be working once again from Whole Hog BBQ by Sam Jones. I think there's another author as well. I'm very sorry. I will include it in the tags, but I don't remember what it is and I'm not going to take it out of the thing right now. Anyway, we are going to be making old-fashioned cornbread. So this is not fluffy, sweet cornbread. This is much more like the corn pone, I think is what it was called, that I made from Deep Run Roots. I'll link that up here. There's like not much, if any, leaveners in this. It's going to be very dense cornmeal dough, and you need to eat this very soon after it's baked. So we're gonna eat this tomorrow. And so I'm not making it today, but I am going to mix up the dry ingredients and we will show you what we do after that tomorrow, because we're going to be having it at someone else's house. And so we're going to have to bake it there because that's just how this is. So it starts with just plain white cornmeal, which is what I have here. And I've already measured that here. And then we add a little bit of Hush Puppy mix. He says that they use this Moss Light and Sweet Hush Puppy mix with onion. Mine does not have onion because my family doesn't like it with onion when I make Hush Puppies or anything like that. So I just don't. So I'm going to measure that here. Good enough. I wasn't super precise with that, but it'll be fine. And then some salt. I'm gonna kind of heap mine up a little bit because my salt is Diamond Crystal kosher salt, which is a little bit less salty than most table salt. So I'm just not too worried about that being too salty. And I'm just gonna mix this together with a fork because my whisks are all currently dirty in the dishwasher or in the sink. So I thought I would just mix it up with a fork. Now, what we're going to do tomorrow is, now he says to melt lard in a pan and on the stove, and then put it in your baking dish, and then pour the batter that you make out of this. All you add to this is water. There is a measurement, but what you're looking for is a thin pancake batter. So you can add more water if necessary, he says. And so that's, I'll be measuring it, but we'll see how much I need because we are going to go for sort of a thin pancake batter. And then you put your melted lard in a 9 by 13 inch pan, and then you pour this in. You don't remove any, you just kind of make sure it covers everything, and then you put this in so it'll come up around the edges, and he says it'll look wrong, but it's fine. That's exactly what the goal is. And we're gonna bake it at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. I'm gonna just melt the lard in the pan in the oven because that's just so much easier, and it only uses one pan and it'll be fine. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and then we just have to bake it. So we will show you what we can of that tomorrow. I'm just going to put this in a zip top bag, and all I'll have to do is add water tomorrow and it'll be all ready. So we will show you what we can of that and then let you know what we think in just a minute. Okay, my lard is melted, oven set to 400, and I'm going to pour in our cornbread batter. I think that's about right. It looked thinner before, but now we're going to bake it for about 35 minutes. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make old-fashioned cornbread from Sam Jones's book, Whole Hog BBQ. And This is probably some of the easiest cornbread you can make because there are no leaveners in it besides a very small amount that is in the Hush Puppy mix you use. But you use so little of that, it doesn't rise at all, really. But that's expected. That is what this is supposed to be. There is a lot of lard or bacon grease. If you don't have access to good lard, you can use bacon grease, such that it seems wrong. He talks about that. It might look wrong, but that is the goal. And strangely, even though there was that much lard in it, and mine was melted all on the bottom of my baking container, baking tray, pan, 9x13 pan. It still stuck, like it stuck to the bottom pretty badly. The sides not so much, but the bottom pretty badly. So I don't know why that happened, but this was exactly my idea of this kind of cornbread, which I actually like. I like both kinds. In fact, I like all kinds of cornbread, honestly. But I like this in particular more than a lot of people. It's kind of an acquired taste. The edges are the best part because those are almost like fried because of all of the bacon grease. And my favorite way to have this sort of cornbread is in what they call corn sticks. So you bake it in, it's usually a cast iron molded pan. So very hot and in sort of long stick form, right? So they're about that big around and usually about that long. That's my favorite way because it's mostly edges. The edges are the best part. With this, you want to eat this pretty quickly. Like he said, immediately or within the hour is best. It did not taste too bad later. It did not get super hard later. Within the same day, it was still okay. Heated up with a little butter, it was fine. That has not been my experience with it other places. When I've gotten it, particularly at like his restaurant in Aden, North Carolina, the Skylight Inn, they serve this cornbread. After it gets cold, you don't want to eat it. You just don't want to eat it. It's not as good. But ours was not as bad. But it's a really simple cornbread, and if you've never tried it, you should definitely try it. See if you like it, and let me know in the comments down below if you do. And if you've enjoyed watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this with your friends if you've enjoyed it, and come back and watch me make something else next week.